This is He Knows His Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. I told y'all, man. You see, that's why I said I'm the prediction king when it comes to boxing. I done told y'all cats out here in these boxing streets, dog. My real G's out here in these boxing streets. The Rudy Poo and the Plum Brain, Mikey Garcia fanboys, aka Cinnamon Alvarez fanboys. Y'all gotta listen to me. I told y'all about the prediction. Yordenis Ugas. That's his name. Yordenis Ugas versus Shawn Porter. Look at the tail of the tape. I knew it, man. Shawn Porter is not that good of a fighter for him to be overlooking fighters. I'm going to say that again. Shawn Porter is not that good of a fighter to be overlooking fighters. I knew him missing weight was the tail of the tape for me, that Ugas was going to give him a better fight than what was expected. I saw that. And that's why I was trying to tell you guys, man, there's levels to this stuff. You guys got to be able to see what I see, because I use this, the true boxing eye test, man. I saw at the weigh-in that Ugas was the hungrier fighter. I knew with his amateur background and his pedigree that he was going to be hungry. He should have done more in the fight to definitively win. There was times where you saw that he clearly had the longer arms. He was the taller fighter. He was the bigger fighter. There was times where, when Shawn Porter was coming in with that, what I call the poor man's version of a Mike Tyson, that herky-jerky nonsense, that all that stupid stuff that he does. And that's why you see I call him Sean Constipated Porter, because when he comes in and he does close quarter contact, what does he do? He freezes up, man. He doesn't throw a right hook. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't throw a jab. He doesn't work the body. He just does a lot of movement and tries to smother you. And the referees, they fall for that because it looks good. A lot of that stuff when he was trying to do these little football moves or whatever, those are opportunities for Ugas to tag him. Ugas didn't tag him enough definitively to take the fight away. But I still felt that he was the busier guy in terms of accuracy, in terms of timing. If you go back and look at that fight, you know what I'm saying? You slow it down and look at it critically. Me, I only need to look at a fight one time. I don't need to look at it over and over again. Because I have a true boxing eye test. I could look at a fight one time and tell you guys who won that fight. And if you look at that fight, Ugas won the fight, man. Even the unofficial scoring card judge, you heard what he said. He had the Ugas winning by 1 round. I said that Shawn Porter, my prediction was this. It was kind of up in the air. I said, my heart says that Shawn Porter might win 7-5, but I would not be surprised. And more than likely, we're probably looking at a Kell Brook too. This might be a situation where it'd be an upset. Obviously, it wasn't as definitive as a Kell Brook fight, because Kell Brook did a lot more than what Ugas did. He held Shawn Porter when Shawn Porter was coming in. He was tagging Shawn Porter effectively, and he was using his superior boxing skills. Ugas in that fight has better boxing skills than Shawn Porter. That's evident. The problem is he didn't use it enough. He was too busy showboating, doing all this, and going back and forth. And it was just stupid. He shouldn't have done all of that. He should have just, every time Shawn Porter came in, it's that basketball principle. You reach, I teach. Every time Shawn Porter reached, he should have taught him with a jab. And I felt that Ugas was taking too long, waiting for Shawn Porter to come in to time him. You got to establish everything with the jab. He didn't do that. He didn't do that enough. And that's why I was getting frustrated when I was watching that fight, because I saw that he was doing, in my eyes, more than Shawn. But I knew that because Shawn is the champion, they were still going to kind of lean towards him and give him the fight, because in that kind of fight, a lot of times, the Tony Harrison is the exception of the rule with Jermell Charlo. But a lot of times in those fights, when you're fighting the champion, if you're not definitively doing way more, or you're not showing the judges that you're really blowing the champion out of the water, if it's such a close fight, they're going to lean towards the champion. And that's what they did. See, Kenny Porter yesterday was sitting here talking about, we're going to get on a plane and we're going to go into the ring. We're going to confront Errol Spence. Listen, man, Shawn Porter is the weakest 147-pound division titleist. Right now, he's just holding Keith Thurman's belt. We just got to keep it real. As much as I clown Keith Runtime or Keith Duck Time Thurman, he's holding that man's belt. That belt truly belongs to Keith Thurman, man. Because let's keep it real. If Keith Thurman was the one that was fighting Ugas, you would have saw a more decisive or definitive win. Even a 22-month layoff, Keith Thurman. That's what you saw in the Josecito Lopez fight. Keith Thurman, to me, won that fight 8-4. There's an argument that you can make 7-5, but I had it 8-4. That's what I had on my scoring card. That's how you beat a guy. You know what I'm saying? You got to make it definitive, man. And Shawn Porter does not have boxing fundamentals. He needs to change his coach. And this is the first time that me and IBFP or whatever the fart his name is actually agreed 100% on something. So it seems like he's starting to come to my wavelength of boxing and starting to come to my wavelength of understanding things. No, let me rewind that back. That ain't happening. That dude's never going to come to my wavelength. But for one time, for 1 millisecond in his Rudy Poo and Plum brain of the being an ultra Mikey Garcia fanboy, aka Cinnamon Alvarez fanboy, for 1 second that dude actually thought and saw things the way that I saw it. He actually used what's called the true boxing eye test. You know, you got to see it, man. When a guy misses weight and he's the champion, that says that he did not take his training camp serious. And people got to see that for what it truly is. And only a person who's really not studying the sweet science doesn't understand the magnitudes of that. When has Shawn Porter ever missed weight, man? That right there was a telltale. By 2 pounds? Come on, if he was fighting a fighter that he was really gunning for, or he was really, getting up for, you think he would have missed weight? You think he would have missed it by 2 pounds? Come on now. That says a lot. That speaks volumes to me. And he needs to come to that realization that Kenny Porter is not the right trainer for him, because he lacks severely in the boxing fundamentals department. And Shawn Porter is not a fighter that cannot not learn. Like Timothy Bradley towards the end of his career, Timothy Bradley was showing some semblance of boxing fundamentals under Teddy Atlas. I feel that Shawn Porter has that potential if given the right trainer to learn some boxing fundamentals, because he is a guy that you could see he's humble and he would listen to whatever trainer that's in front of him. Kenny Porter's not the guy. And if Shawn Porter wants to keep that belt and he wants to be a legitimate 147-pound titleist and not the weakest 147-pound titleist that I see in front of me, he needs to change his trainer. Because those people he got in his corner, I'm sorry. No disrespect to Barry Hunter. No disrespect, to that big dude, that strength and conditioning dude that's always there, that's working the mitts and stuff like that. Those guys, they used to work with Lamont Peterson, Adrian Broner. But that team right there, man, that's a losing team. They got a lot of losses. I know there's a lot of experience there, but they have a lot of losses with them. They're not the right team for a lot of boxers, man. They might be for journeymen or mid-level boxers, but for top-tier boxers that's trying to get to the upper echelon levels, they got to have a better team. That's just my point on it. Because whatever instructions they give and how they implement their strategies, it's not effective for that fighter. And we just have to be honest about that. And we got to see it for what it truly is. That's why I've said it, man. That now you guys understand why I call this dude Shawn Constipated Porter. I called this fight. And that's one thing you're going to learn about. He knows his sport, man. Because he does know his sport. Because I'm bringing you that heat and that fire, man. When I call something, and I'm usually on it with my predictions, man. My predictions are almost always right, man. Damn near close to 100% each and every single time. Because I use the true boxing eye test. I analyze the fight for what it is. I look at the fighters. I see how they train. I look at the weigh-ins. I see how fighters' body languages are at the weigh-ins. All these things are important to me. People don't pay attention to it. I pay attention to all the little finite details, man. The body language of the fighter when in the first press conference, when the fight is about to happen, their engagements, when they're going back and forth, their training regimens, how they train through the course of getting prepared for that fight, the fighter's body language as they're being interviewed. All of these things are important because it tells you what's going to ultimately happen when they step into the ring in the bright lights in that square circle. Ugas got robbed. I'm going to say it again. Ugas got robbed. And I want y'all to get on the comment section and let me know what y'all take is on this fight, man. This is He Knows His Sport. Checking out.